Bukola joins me to bring us up to speed with what's going on. Bukola.
Hello again, Jeffrey. This morning, Jeffrey, Nigerians are wondering why, the abnormal, the absurd becomes the normal. Either it's in politics or it's in our society or it's in the economy. So we're starting off this morning with national grid collapses. And the first person who is reacting this morning gives us a breakdown of dates when the national grid has collapsed. So we're starting off with CHEXTA. CHXTA, that's the name, and the person reels out the dates: 4th February 2024, 10th April 2024, 15th April 2024, 11th March 2024, 12th March 2024, 28th March 2024. There you have it on the screen, 6th July 2024. And he ends by saying, or they end rather by saying, these are the dates of national grid collapses in Nigeria in 2024 thus far. A record 7 times in 2024 alone, not counting the number of times that national grid collapsed in the year 2023. So, valid question to ask: what's happening with our national grid infrastructure? What's happening to the budget? The budget for 2024, how much has been set aside for infrastructure renewal for our national grid, such that we stop experiencing national grid collapses? And what's happening to our partnerships with other international companies in the area of, provision of power supply?
Well, at the end of the day, when we had a conversation with the expert, they said, as long as those things that are supposed to be done are not done, you should be expecting. So, national grid collapse, as long as the things are not done, it will be like malaria. It's going to be with us. So it will keep collapsing until it is fixed at the end of the day. Let's go to Taye now. He says, Titus Joshua 16 says, no normal thing already. Every now and then, national grid, they collapse. So I've explained what the experts say. There are certain things that has to be done. We don't want to get to the technicalities. If it's not done, let's expect more collapses. So that's what it is.
Very depressing one there. And the next one is from Olawale, and he has just one line for us, and he says, if national grid come back this world, he go avoid Nigeria. Well, that's if national grid has a reincarnation. If it reincarnates, it would not, come close to Nigeria.
Yeah, that thing occurred around 3 p.m. yesterday, I remember. Big Sam Baba says, this national grid problem by now should have been a thing of the past. Not yet, brother.
Yeah.
Or sister.
Not yet. And Emmanuel Odomelam says, I think we should all contribute money to buy glucose D for the national grid, because I don't understand why the collapse every fortnight.
Yes, so, but the government has gotten some loans to revitalize that sector. I think to the tune of over, there's $500 million, if I'm correct, for power, and then another one for renewable energy. But we need to, I think more than that about that. So we hope it's going to be implemented.
Okay, so this next talking point is about the president stepping aside as ECOWAS chairman, but it's instructive to also note that he has been re-elected as ECOWAS chairman, and we saw him speak earlier on.
Yeah, he accepted the position.
During the top stories. And the first person commenting is Rashida, who says, congratulations to our well-deserved president. Unity and development of African countries continues.
SL5 with so many numbers. Congratulations, our dedicated President Tinubu, for being the re-elected chairman of ECOWAS. Well deserved.
And Siri Jones MC says, how them take re-elect person we step down? Now, wow.
Well, he has to step down first and then
he can be re-elected.
But the point here is that Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger are still not on the table. That is a big one that he has to do to work on, to make sure that those guys come back to the table. Olhaza said, we hope for a change with this new appointment. Congratulations, sir. But we'll move on to court ordering the former minister of Humanitarian Affairs to account for over 700 billion naira in terms of the distribution they did to poor people. But this is instructive that it came from the suit filed by Sarah, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability. They will sue for you to bring to account for it. So they got a court order to that effect. So Sani Aminu Moham 4 says, this is why I don't encourage this so-called sharing money or foodstuff to the poor of a thing. Everything will never get to the poor.
Well, it's also instructive to note that there's also an ongoing investigation by the EFCC into that ministry of the former minister and the suspended minister in the life of this administration. So this next one is from Samuel Ugonna Benson, who says 729 billion for 24.3 million poor Nigerians for 6 months. Poverty alleviation program funds for poor Nigerians just vanished, just like that, without any detailed accountability. Payment of 5K to Nigerians.
Okay. Serap Nigeria, well done. That's a complete part of your story.
Yeah.
Chibuzo said ministers and other public officials probed by Auditor General's report for improper use of public funds should be made to refund public funds quarterly and yearly, and there should be sanctions to prevent corruption. I just remember now that there was it Accountant General? I've forgotten that position. Who they talked about almost 100 billion.
Over 80.
No, almost 100.
100 billion.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to follow up on that case. Bukola, you have the next one. There's so many corruption cases.
This last one is
so
from...
we need to follow up. Allegedly,
I think he later went on to get a chieftaincy title in his hometown. That former Accountant General.
Well, if people can give him title, Nigerian state wants our money. If he has it, that's the point.
This next one is from Erlis Ibanga, and he has just a line which says, court order is good, but implementation is better. Well, so it's still an ongoing case with the courts, so let's find out how it turns out. And if this will be dispensed with, as quickly as possible, and justice will eventually come out regardless of who filed the suit, because you noted earlier that it was Serap that filed the suit.
Yeah, Serap, they will go at you at all times.
Yeah.
Zamfara lawmaker sponsors mass wedding of 105 orphans. So that's the story about this. But this is what you're saying. Is this 2024 in Nigeria, sorry, in Zamfara state? Or are they still in 1930? Why is this a priority over education for these children? So, big question.
Well, this next one is from Omoya Teacher, who says, using state funds to sponsor mass weddings or sponsoring individuals to pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia or Jerusalem on religious grounds should be prohibited in the Constitution. So it's instructive to also note that what were the ages of these 105 orphans? How many male are there? How many female are there? Have they lost opportunity for education? Opportunity to make choices about the future for themselves? We need more details, and we need, the future of our children to stop being cut short by religious and cultural practices. Okay, Lucky Man, comrade _ Lucky One says, so instead of sponsoring them to go to school, marriage is the best alternative. Wow, just wow. Indeed. And this next one is from Bami Tim, who says, an average northerner is a socialist. How would you sponsor marriage of people who can't even feed themselves? When this happens, the poverty multiplies. Create an enabling ground for people to thrive. Stop spoon-feeding your people. At news _ brief _ says it would have been better if a research is done. Example, 50 of them should be sent to school to have skills or so. The remaining 55 should be married out, then check back after 10 years to see the result of both tests. This will at least help their decision making subsequently. This guy is a good analyst in his own way. Well, let's move on to the next talking point. Of it that way. And it's about genetically modified organisms. And, it's a product of a research by yet to be identified researchers, I believe. And it says GMOs are safe for human animal consumption, according to researchers. But there's an ongoing debate on that. And we've delved quite deeply into that conversation, and we know that there's a huge gulf between those who are for GMOs and those who are against. But this first person says, whose voices, by the way, the main concerns around GMOs involve allergies, cancer, and environmental issues, all of which may affect the consumer. While current research suggests few risks, more long-term research is needed. Engineer Zek Ugbede says, let them show us their research document which proves that GMO is good for human consumption, and also their bank statement for the past few months, if there will be no contradiction, I guess. Yeah. Trust these politicians' appointed research at your own peril. And this next one is from Honorable Adora, EMBA, who says, no, it is not. And that was a profound one there. GMO has been banned by Europe and Russia. Why should Nigerians be forced to eat this cancer?
All right.
They end by saying hashtag say no to GMO, hashtag ban GMO.
All right, Coach Shalom 77 says, Nigerian farmers do not accept GMO seed. It is dangerous both for the land and for your consumption. Europeans are feeling the devastating effect of GMO food. Most households are going back to buying organic food, which is very expensive now. Nigerians say no to GMO food. Don't allow this wicked, I don't want to use that word, to gaslight you. You're warned.
And even in countries where these products are on display in supermarkets, they are tagged such that, those who want to buy them can be guided and decide to purchase them or not.
So the GMO argument is a big argument. In terms of seed, in terms of food security, both and for. But hey, that's not a conversation for today. We're just taking your thoughts. We'll delve into some of our conversation for the day. We'll start with that issue around security today on the program. That issue that has been protracted for long. We seem not to win all the time. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. But what is going on with this resurgence we're seeing, especially in the northern part of the country? We'll bring that conversation to you after this break. Join us again.